This Bigfoot report comes from a hunter on Carson Lake in the Grand Mesa, Colorado. This is what the hunter reported. A friend and I were hunting on the Grand Mesa on the Land's End side. We had hiked down Kana Creek Trail to look for game. We had spent most of the day on a stand and hiking. We made our way back to my truck. We decided to stay the night so we could hunt in the AM and then go home. We were getting things set up for camp, building a fire, getting food out to cook. I had a pop-up camper, and I had just got it up and situated when my friend said, "What the heck is that sound?" He had never spent much time in the woods as I had, so he was freaked out instantly. I came out of the camper to see what the problem was. Then I heard it. It is the hardest thing to explain how it sounds, but here it goes. It sounded like a scream, deep in sound, very loud, and it lasted for long periods of time, with the sound going up and down in volume. It sounded angry for some reason. At first I didn't give it much thought. I had heard mountain lions scream, and that will make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. I have also heard bears, but bears do not do that sort of thing. They are quiet most of the time. As this sound went on, and pausing for short moments as if to catch its breath, my friend was really freaked out now. I said to him, "It's just a lion, or two lions, or a lion and a bear fighting across the lake." This did not calm him down much. I had my sidearm on me, so I pulled it out and shot off around in the air during the screaming. Then it was silent. "See," I told him, "we scared it away." I started to go about getting food out so we could eat. Now it was a little darker, and you can't quite see details across the lake, but you can still see. Not even a minute later, after firing off around in the air, the screaming started again. This time closer, but still across the lake. Louder, and it seemed more pissed off, as if it was very mad that we were here. We could hear the brush shaking and raking, but we could not see it, just hear it. Now I'm getting freaked out because of what just happened. It came closer. You would think that a gunshot would scare game away, not bring it in closer. My friend is really getting freaked out and wants to leave. "Now," I tell him, "we have high-powered rifles and we will be safe." The whole time we're talking about leaving, the screaming is going on. I gave in to him, wanting to leave, and started to pack up camp. This took some time for us to do, maybe 5 minutes or so. During this time, the screaming was going on the whole time. We got everything loaded up in a hurry, buttoned up the camper, and we got in and started it up and left. It was now dark, and the headlights were the only lights beside the stars. The drive up and out of the lake was a few switchbacks. I stopped at one to see if the screaming was still going on, and it was not. We then drove out of there and down the mountain, not saying a word. We had stopped to get a bite to eat, and we just felt unsure of what we had experienced. Both of us decided not to say anything to anyone. I know I didn't say anything to anyone for a very long time. I am unsure if my friend has said anything to anyone. I have watched shows on TV about Bigfoot since then. Some of the shows had taped sound of what they said was a Bigfoot. To me, it sounded like what I had heard. I have had some friends that have had some experiences in this same area. One time one of my friends at night saw something tall and large cross the road. Also, during the day, they found some very large tracks. Some other friends said that they heard some screamings that sounded a lot like what I described in the area. They didn't tell the rest of the hunting party about what they heard until night, when the rest of them heard these screams in the middle of the night, loud enough to wake them up. This area of the Grand Mesa has a lot of strange happenings and vocalizations. There was a follow-up investigation by BFRO investigator David Petty. Here's his follow-up investigation report. The Grand Mesa, the largest flat-top mountain in the world, is a lush oasis which rises to an elevation of 10,000 to 11,000 feet above the desert of western Colorado. It is a rich landscape of dense forest and aspen, spruce, and fir, large open meadows, over 300 lakes, abundant fish and game. It comprises an area of approximately 500 square miles and reaches 40 miles east of Grand Junction. Far from the recreational pressures of the Front Range population, it provides a seemingly ideal possible habitat area. The witness stated that the source of the sounds was across the lake and to the east, an estimated distance of 300 to 400 yards. He noted that the source had to have a tremendous set of lungs to produce sounds of such volume and duration. He estimated that one of the vocalizations lasted about 20 seconds. After firing a shot, the bellowing stopped briefly, but then it sounded like as if it moved closer and seemed to get more belligerent and aggravated with even more commotion as it thrashed the brush and started yelling and screaming again. Although the witness did not admit this to his friend, he grew increasingly unnerved himself, and then considered the possibility that may be a Sasquatch for as long as it was going on. The more he deduced, more than anything else, he felt that the creature was communicating as if it did not want them to be there. Although initially hesitant to do so upon first submitting this report, the witness, Richard Stotts, gave permission to use his name and stands by his reported observations. As a lifelong hunter and fisherman, he has been out in the woods all his life, and he had never heard anything like this at any other time before or since. As a result of this incident, he has a lasting interest in this subject and continues to search for Bigfoot on his own. I hope you enjoyed this Bigfoot vocalization report. The witness didn't actually see the Bigfoot. He could hear whatever it was moving around. From the sounds and way it acted, he deduced that it was a Bigfoot. There are other Bigfoot sightings in this area. We're going to look around and bring you some more of those Bigfoot sighting reports. I hope you enjoyed this vocalization report. Keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.